Let me show you guys something very cool.
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
All right, guys, welcome back. We are here in the shop, and look at this beast. We have the Glizzard back. Now, I know what you guys are saying, man. We haven't seen the Glizzard in a while. What's going on? There's a lot that goes on. I have so much stuff going on. We have so many cars in our room. The Glizzard was getting some interior work done, got some seats put in there because, as you guys know, this is going to be the ride-along car. So we got it back, and we just did the conversion from the Pro Charger, which I sold to a good buddy, to the Roots-style blower. And I'll talk about why I made the change. Some of you guys don't like it. Some of you guys do like it. I think the appearance, money, dude, money. Big blower guy. So let's just dive right into it and talk about this thing. So if you guys remember, I got this car as a roller, and I decided to say, hey, let's have a ride-along car. Perfect idea. Great Fox body. Everybody loves a Fox body. The original plan was Pro Charger, which, big fan of the Pro Charger, but the Pro Charger didn't have like the shock and awe factor of a big old blower. So this sucker right here is absolutely bad to the bone. It is just kind of mocked up right now. We'll get into this in a second. Let's talk about the interior. Went over to Bissett Performance, got double frame rail, an upper frame rail put in there for safety reasons. Got 2 Race Tech seats put in there. Got the shifter mounted, got a steering column put in. So everything looks awesome there. And then got some tin work as well. Kind of cleaned up the floors because the entire redid the firewall as well, and as you guys can see here, kind of got a little, you know, some room. If we ever decide to put a Whipple on there or something real big, we'll have plenty of clearance. But yeah, I mean, it looks great. The reason why we went with the double frame rail deal is, one, for safety reasons, also just for a little bit more comfort for the passenger. We are going to be running the exposed transmission with a transmission blanket on it, but that's kind of how I like to run it. It's a lot easier to work on. Many benefits to it. But I just think for the ease of the mind over here in the passenger seat, having a bar here and just some additional structure will be very good. Now, it does have a Race Tech seat in there, and we did kind of have to work around a little bit of the chassis as it was already previously built. When they built this car, they didn't say, hey, we're going to have someone riding in there. And as you can see, this bar here is pretty far off the floor. So we got the seat down as low as you can go. But, you know, 6'1", you're fitting in there pretty good. Any guys that win the opportunity to ride in this thing, if you're like 6'4", 6'5", we're going to have to, you know what? Oh, dude, I didn't even think about this. I didn't even think about it. I just solved the riddle right there. Boom, we could fit some taller guys. You guys know David and Tyler. We got some big boys around here. They're tall, they're big. They sat in here, and with the seat cover, which as you can see, provides, you know, maybe 2 inches of additional headroom. With the seat cover, they fit in there, but it would have been uncomfortable with a helmet. Take the seat cover out, definitely going to sit a whole lot lower. So just solved that riddle right there live on camera. As you can see, we got the drive shaft enclosure. We have the shifter mounted, and we got the steering column mounted. So all this, the parachute handle mounted as well. So very happy. The car looks absolutely sick with 2 Race Tech seats in there that have the head restraints. Now, this was very important. This was a very big deal to me. Originally, when I brought the car over to Juniors, I had 2 Kirky seats, and, you know, got it with Race Tech. I got my first Race Tech seat in that time frame, and I was like, damn, the Race Tech seat is far superior safety-wise, comfortability, it's more comfortable. And I was just very excited to have those seats. When I decided that this was going to be a dedicated like ride-along car, it was a must to have 2 Race Techs in there. Make sure the passenger's in a Race Tech, make sure the passenger has the head restraint seat as well. And as you guys can see, both of them have it. If you're racing, it's a must. The seat provides so much more safety. The seats are very comfortable. I kid you not, last night, I was up real early in the morning. It was about 10 o'clock at night last night. I fell asleep sitting in the seat. So, you know, there you go. It's that comfortable. You could sleep in it. But it was very important to me to make sure that the passenger seat was there for the comfort and the safety. I feel a whole lot better now. Obviously, you never want to wreck. You never plan a wreck. But if something were to happen, I feel much, much, much better knowing that the passenger is going to be in a very safe seat like a race tech, opposed to something that doesn't have, the head restraint, that has really thin material. It's not going to hold up to the beating, especially if Matt's driving. If Matt's driving and you're in the passenger seat, you're going to be very thankful you're in a race tech. So, very, very excited about that. This thing's going to be sick. Now that we got it back, we can get it worked on. We're really, really, really making progress. I know it's tough. We got a lot of projects and everything, but we are getting down to it, and I'm excited. All right, yeah, let's see what else we got. Oh, yeah, the engine. This is kind of a big deal. This is my 460 cubic inch blower motor built by TKM Performance, as you guys can see here. Just a quick, brief rundown on it. It's LSX block, Callie's crank, MGP rods, diamond pistons, Frankenstein heads, T&D rocker arms, custom TKM Performance camshaft. This is do we have a name for this cam? I don't know if we have a name for this cam. We might not have this one named. I might have to get that done. As you can see, bottom, top, head to toe, this engine is very badass. It's built extremely, extremely similar to the Black Sheep engine. So horsepower rating wise, I would say it's kind of in the same area. It's a much bigger piston, so I'm probably not going to lean on this one as hard, but I also don't need to lean on this as hard. This thing right here makes 17, 18, 1900 horsepower. For someone that's never been in a car that makes that kind of power, that makes 1,000 horsepower, especially at the racetrack, launching 2.5 G's, especially with a blower, that thing's really going to 60 foot. 1,000 horsepower is probably going to scare the shit out of a lot of people. So for this thing to make as much power as it makes 15, 1600, it's going to be a lot. You also have to factor, and this thing's making 15, 1600, it's taking 200 horsepower to blow this motor. So if it's making 1600, it's really making 1800. So you have to keep that in mind. That's why the turbos are so good. That's why I like the turbos, way more efficient. This is a Littlefield Roots blower, 1471 standard helix, nothing crazy. Came off Pro Mod when we got it. Fresh Teflon strips. It's going to be a little bit of a maintenance item. I have everything from Alky Diggers to do the crank support and adapter and pulley setup. Matt's kind of handling that. That's Matt's forte. Matt's really good at piecing everything together. We have their billet adapter piece for the high ram. So this piece right here is really what makes this all happen. I know what you guys are saying, like, man, that thing just looks ridiculous. It's up so high. But when you put the hood on there in the front end, the hood sits about right here. So it is just about as perfect as it can be as far as height-wise. You got to think like some of these other motors, they're a lot bigger, and the intake is sometimes the same height, so it would be even higher. I didn't go with a real tall hat on this guy. I went with like a low profile hat, but with the blower being so high, it's just slightly under the roof line, which I like. As you guys can see, we are running Holley EFI on this thing, and it is definitely a unique setup, especially as the first time I've ever done an EFI blower setup. Obviously everything else I've done has been like either Pro Charger or Turbo, where obviously you're just doing EFI. We have this billet adapter piece here, which is a little bit of a spacer, and it is going to house your injectors. So you have to have fuel going through the blower to cool it and to lubricate it. So this is our pre-blower fueling, and then we have our injectors down here, which are going to be doing all of our fuel trim. So this is just going to dump some fuel in there. We're going to run 8 Bosch 210s, turn those suckers on, boom, there you go, and then 8 575 billet atomizers down here to really get it all dialed in. So EFI-wise, tunability-wise, consistency-wise, it should be no different than any of our turbo stuff or anything like that, except we just got a second set of ejectors up top to cool the blower. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be cool. It looks absolutely wild. We do have to do some custom modification. Let's pull this guy off here. Also, not sure how the LS is going to like 3 of these massive throttle bodies, because usually we run like a 105, but now this is like Wumbo, so that's going to be interesting. So if we take this sucker off, you get a look inside there, and I'm entertaining the idea of selling this blower to get a high helix. Definitely not going to be able to sell it to get a screw blower, just because the screw blowers are so expensive, and everything changes when you go from a root style to a screw blower. The reason we were able to keep the Whipple is because it uses all the 1471 stuff. So, as you can see here, if we line these holes up correctly, line them up there, so the holes are lined up there, holes are lined up there, we will have some vacuum leaks. I'm not going to call it a boost leak because it's the boosted area. So we're going to go up to TCAM Performance, and they're going to cut out an aluminum piece. The plan is to have it O-ringed. So we'll bring them this, we'll bring them the blower, we'll get an aluminum piece cut out that is the whole footprint of this, have all the bolt holes. It'll O-ring to the blower, and then it will O-ring to this, and then that will seal it off and get everything where we need to have it. What's crazy is the blower hat is the same size as this adapter piece from Holley, and this is a really nice piece. I don't know if this is new or they just came out with it, but it's badass. I mean, I like it. It solves a lot of issues. Don't have to custom make something. Comes with fuel rails. I really got no complaints. So what we'll do is we'll actually have the fuel system will Y off, right? So you'll be feeding your 575s down here. We'll feed the back across, and these pretty much when the engine's running are just on. So very little fuel trim down here when it's at idle, and then this sucker here is going to be eating some fuel. So still plan to have the blower surge set up. Still trying to be smart about this, have all the technology, the EFI, the EGTs. You'll still be able to run your correction with the O2s, but this thing right here is going to be a gnarly setup, that's for sure. I know everyone wants to see what it looks like from the driver's seat or the passenger seat, so we'll stick this back on there. Carbon hat, got this from Uncle Jim. Set that guy right on there. I mean, it just looks good. I'm very happy with how everything sits. I mean, it's badass. An upgrade would be like we'll change this to like a Cabelco Superman at some point. That would be bad to the bone and really start leaning on it and trying to go fast. Stock suspension, Fox body, carbon front end, carbon doors, fiberglass deck lid, dual chutes. Right now it's got an 8.8, but if we start making some serious power, we'll switch it over to a 9-inch. It's got the polished wheels, Mensers on all four corners, 2-speed 400, Circle D bolt together converter, badass TKM motor. I mean, this thing right here for a ride-along car is like a thoroughbred race car at this point. So here, we'll hop in here and give you guys the view. Look at that. So this is eye level. This is what the driver sees. This is what the passenger will see. It's serious. The blower it's badass. Now, the main reason why I got ripped away from the Pro Charger, like I said, is like the shock and awe. The Pro Charger would have done the same thing power-wise. Maybe a little bit more efficient. Not a lot of guys do the roots blowing stuff on the LS. I want to be different, especially with the 1471s. Guys do 871s or 1071s, but 1471, it's a big blower. I think they say this blower is good for like 1,700 horsepower, 1,800 horsepower. So, if you pull it hard, that's where you land. Like I said, this thing makes 1,500 to the wheels. A 460 car. Riding in a car going 4 seconds is going to be utterly terrifying. It's a cool opportunity. Not a lot of people have the opportunity in their life to go a 4-second eighth mile pass, so we're going to be providing that. And yeah, I mean, this thing is bad to the bone. The blower is the shock and awe. It's going to have that wild look with the big butterflies and the blower hat sticking out the hood. It's badass. I mean, it's got a carbon hat with the EFI stuff. Like, it's just gonna be sick. It's gonna sound good. I'm building zoomies for it, but don't worry, we're not gonna do the damn 10-month zoomie thing. We're just gonna knock them out. And the plan is, when I put someone in the seat here and I go, hey, you ready to fire this sucker up? You fire it up, and they're sitting in the seat and they're like, holy shit, this is happening. And you got this badass M&M shifter. Pull the sucker in gear, and they're just going to be losing it. That's the plan. Something consistent. Fox body is a great chassis. It's got a very safe cage, very good floor structure. It's got this double frame roulette put in there that really beefed it up. 2 Race Tech seats. It's going to be very safe for the passenger. We're running Race Tech 6-point harnesses all the way around. It's going to be a combination that's going to be a lot of fun to race. A good marketing advertising tool, and it's going to be sick. So that's the plan with it. I'm very excited about it, and I hope you guys are too. Been busy, haven't been able to really get back into the true daily uploads. I've missed one here and missed one there, but I'd like to say from this point going forward, we are back with daily uploads. We're bringing fire, we're bringing action. It's going to be fun. We're going to start working on this thing, getting the pulley, crank drive, crank support, pulley system set up on this. Front end mounted, doors on it, and we're going to keep rock and rolling, getting this sucker knocked out. So the Glizzard's back. You guys have been asking about it. I'm very excited about it. We're going to have the Glizzard coming together. We got Slick Rick coming together. The engine for the Black Sheep has been done up at T-Cam Performance. I have to go pick it up. And the motor for the Red Lobster is done. So we're going to be putting stuff back together, getting ready to go racing, and a lot of racing coming up here in the near future.